Howdy, and welcome to Dizzy Thursday Live. I'm Chris Capel from Dizzy Pig. We're here at our Hooky with the Pig event. As you know, last week we cooked some wings. I kind of showed you my competition style wings. I cooked another batch of wings here today since Super Bowl's coming up and we got Hooky going on. I cooked some with our spicy Dizzy Dust that's coming out February 11th. They smell pretty good. I cooked them, but this time I cooked them indirect, which I don't normally do. I love cooking chicken direct, but these cooked at about 350 for a little less than an hour. And they look delicious. I made a sauce up as well, like dipping sauce. I have the recipe right here if you want to zoom in on that, Gonzalo. I'll let you know what everybody thinks of it before the end of the show because they're going to start eating it in seconds here. Want to bring those out. Everybody's being quiet. Yeah, so what's going on here is we're doing our Hooky with the Pig that we do the last Thursday of every month. Pretty cool. People skip work and come in here and eat good food and talk cooking, kind of hang out. And it happens to coincide with our Dizzy Thursday Live. So we're doing Ask Chris this week, and I asked you guys to send in the questions. Yeah, we got a few on some different platforms, and I've got some good ideas of what I'm going to talk about here. Of course, feel free to send your questions in as we're going along. But I'll get started here with the Ask Chris. Let me see. The first one here that I got is from Kyle H. Came in on Instagram. He said, "What got you into barbecue, and who was your biggest inspiration in your early competition career?" Well, I will say first, the egg came first. I bought my first egg in 1998, and that's what got me into it. It was my brother-in-law who turned me on to it. He didn't know that much about cooking. He wasn't really an inspiration except for to buy the big green egg. But when I met the Dizzy Pig co-founder, Mike Kerslake, up in Canada, he was a huge inspiration for us to get started competing. Very shortly after that, my friend Ray Lampe, Dr. Barbecue, if you're out there, hey. Yeah, Ray was, well, if you ever get a chance to talk to Ray Lampe, you should do it. But just be ready. He's going to tell you how it is. He's going to tell you what's real and what's right. And so he was, one of the first ones to be honest with me about my cooking, because most people are taught to lie about cooking. So anyway, yeah, so Ray Lampe, Mike Kerslake, those are my two biggest inspirations. All right, so number two, I've got from Jim Ross on Facebook. Where do you get your chicken wings from? Well, we're in Northern Virginia, so it's kind of different for everybody. I think they grow a lot of chickens all around the country, but we happen to be in a pretty big chicken producing region, Eastern Shore of Maryland. But the Giant Foods around here have great chicken wings. They're a Giant Food brand, family pack. They're big Mamba jumbo wings, which I love for barbecue. So I get them from Giant. Love the Purdue chicken as well. You keep a close eye on the size, and don't buy the party wings because they hack them to death. They just hack them in half. So that's on wings. Appreciate the question, Jim. Number three, Super Bowl appetizers. Any particular appetizers? Anything about ABTs? The best thing I can recommend is our website. If you go to our recipe page, we have a holiday and occasion filter. Actually, go to discover more recipes, hit holiday and occasion, and then there's a game day filter. It's got a bunch of good recipes in there. I just put up a mac and cheese recipe, a 6-cheese mac and cheese, thanks to Jason Strawhorn, old-time Dizzy Pig friend. Kind of stole his recipe and added some spicy Dizzy Dust to it. And so that's up there. That would be perfect for game day. We have a ghost wing recipe. We've got the bacon wrapped tater tots. We've got the swamp crackers, which are easy to make. You can do it before the game and just bring them along for munchies. And we have our Dizzy Bean recipe, which is awesome as well. So you'll find them all under that like filter there. So hopefully that gives you some good ideas there. Any other questions coming in as I'm rolling? Nope. All right, come on, people. Ask some questions. I'm here. All right, number 4 from Kevin Shrewsbury, who attended our pork barbecue class this last weekend. I think I see what he's getting at here. He said, would it be beneficial to wrap the country-style ribs after getting some smoke? Maybe covered in a foil pan with some braising liquid. So, absolutely, Kevin. I guess you're commenting on our grilled country ribs at the class were not as moist as you might expect in a pulled pork or something like that. Because I grilled them to 170 to like a slicing state. But you're right, they were a little tough, and they probably could have benefited from that extra braising and, sort of cutting off that loss of moisture from them so that all the collagen could render out and they'd still be moist, but they still have that grill flavor. I think that's kind of what you're getting at. And by all means, I'm a big fan of braising and wrapping in foil, especially when you get the flavor that you want on them. So yeah, and actually that's what Marianne did for Hooky with the Pig today. She took those. We still had a bunch of those left over because I guess they were a little tough. So she cooked them a little more, and they got devoured. So hope that answers your question. Number 5, kind of similar, from Tina Wilkinson on Facebook also. She asked, what's the best way to grill spare ribs? That's a really tough question to answer because there's really 1,000 ways to cook spare ribs properly to they're flavorful and tender in your mouth. I just posted our competition rib recipe a few months ago. If you do a search for ribs on our website, hit the magnifying glass, type in ribs, you'll see my recipe on there. And I kind of explain a few different ways of doing it. You don't want to boil them at any time. I mean, no reason to put them in a pot of boiling water, no matter if your brother has done it for years or not. I recommend getting some flavor on them first, and then like with other barbecue, it's beneficial to wrap it in foil once you build up the flavor that you have. You don't need to. You could be a purist and cook them all the way through without wrapping them. Say 250 degrees for about 4 to 5 hours, or 275 degrees for about 3.5. Or you could do them until you get the color you like, a few hours, wrap them in foil, and then cook them in the foil until they're tender. So, like I said, I think if you look at a recipe on the website, I explained it in a lot better than I can in the time I have now. But yeah, so the main thing is you want to get some good flavor and browning on them, and you want to wrap them in foil to cook them until they're moist and tender, and then you eat them. A lot of people will put them after they get to the point that they're tender, they'll sauce them and put them back on the cooker to kind of set the sauce. I don't necessarily think that's really necessary. I don't see a reason to caramelize the sauce on. You already have a lot of caramelization on the meat, so just like sauce them at the end before you serve them, or serve the sauce on the side. That's what I recommend for spare ribs. Losing my voice already. Okay, number 6. How do you like the new Eggulator cap? We have these new caps out on the patio that the Egg just came out with that are totally different design from the old dual function metal top they had with the little holes that you adjust. So they have a new one now that has like a lid that's just one adjustment. It's really easy to adjust. It's cool to the touch when I touch it. Only been cooking it on a few weeks, but so far I like them. So that's about the Eggulator cap. Okay. This is, I don't know where this came from. Actually, I do. It's from Irish Barbecue Guy on Instagram. He says, would you agree that Kamado Joe has taken over the Big Green Egg? No. Number 8. If someone is new to Dizzy Pig Seasonings, which 4 do you recommend that they start? Well, really, that's kind of hard because everybody has a different taste buds and flavor profiles. If you have kids or people that like good sweet stuff, Pineapple Head needs to be on there. But really, I think if you look at at Raging River, which is something I designed for salmon, but it's our pork competition rub, and it's good on almost anything. Also, almost everybody likes it. So I think that Raging River is a must-have. The Dizzy Dust is our bestseller, and for a reason. It's pretty tasty. The Tsunami Spin is something I'm really proud of. That was with Asian inspirations. It was supposed to be an Asian flavored seasoning, but it ended up just being Asian inspired. Doesn't really have an Asian flavor, but it's one of the best things in the world on chicken. So, and it's got a buttery, floury, earthy, kind of all over the place flavor, but it's really balanced. Needs some Tsunami Spin, I think. And Cowlick is our Texas style beef rub. It's black peppery. That's what we use on brisket in our competition. It's great on a burger. Forget about it for steaks. It's unbelievable. So anyway, those are the 4, and that's from Larry Zillux on Twitter. Appreciate the question, Larry. All right, now we got, this one is interesting. So I've seen a little bit about this girl. There's this was submitted by Ryan Tarragon, who's the father of Nora Grace, who is a 9-year-old pitmaster. She's already competing. So the girl's got it going on, and I say everybody on the circuit needs to watch out for Nora Grace in the coming years. So he asks, can you talk a little bit about some of the Ish fusion seasonings and what prompted you to make them? So, yeah, I can talk about that. So these are our Ish blends right here. That's our new Spicy Dizzy Dust coming out soon. So what I wanted when I came up with these is I kind of wanted to tie in some regional cuisines, but I also wanted something without any sugar in it, so more of a seasoning people could use versatilely in the kitchen or on the grill, and they could use it for pan searing or something like that. But I thought that I would take familiar flavors from different parts of the world and then create a seasoning which I thought sort of captured the spirit of that region. So just to go through, we got our Mediterranean-ish, which is kind of inspired by Greek, Italian, herby, garlicky, citrusy stuff. That's my daughter's favorite, and a lot of our customers are using that on so many things, including beef ribs, which I think I haven't tried that yet, but I think it would be really good. It'd be good on lamb. It'd be good on a lot of things. It's good in a salad. It's good on pizza. It's good in a tomato sauce. So anyway, that's why I created the Mediterranean. I wanted to capture that kind of region and have something that really, if anything, called for Italian seasonings, then you could use the Mediterranean. And we got our Bayou-ish, which is actually, that took me 3 years to come up with and get it balanced properly, because I think people have what they expect in a blackening seasoning. I think we've developed something that's as good as any blackening seasoning out there. It took me forever, but if you like a Cajun flavor in a really hot pan, that's good on a lot of things, good on shrimp and chicken and, of course, red fish if you're from Louisiana. But so that's a Bayou-ish. Then we got our Bombay Curry-ish, which I love curry, and so I kind of wanted to capture sort of a Bombay India kind of flavor of curry. I think everybody has their different curries. There's a lot of different flavors. I just picked. I've been a curry fan for a long time, so I picked all the flavors from all the different types of curries that I had, and I came up with this blend. Then we got our fajita-ish. I think that kind of speaks for itself. It's south of the border. It can replace your taco seasoning, and you can use it on anything that is Mexican. You can use it on a pot of chili. And then our Peruvian-ish, was inspired not only by like Rodrigo, who works for us, who's from Peru, but all the Peruvian like chicken places there are around here are delicious. So I kind of wanted to capture that, like fruity essence of the ají amarillo chili. So I hope that answers your question there, Ryan. We're excited about them. I've got some other ideas in the back of my mind about what I might like to come up with next. I got to be careful about that. We got a lot of flavors. Anything else coming in? People watching, not commenting?
You got a lot of hellos.
Oh, hello. Howdy. What else here? We need a prime rib demo from Aislinn Epperson on Instagram. All right. I'll try to work that in. Like prime rib's fun. That would have been good to do in like around the holidays probably, but prime rib's good all year, so I might just have to work that in. We'll let you know when we do come up with that. And then I guess the last question here was I was looking at from Ryan Tarragon again. I was looking at an Instagram post and I noticed what looked like a reverse flow cabinet smoker in one of the pictures. Do you sell them at the store, and what brand are they? No, we don't have a reverse flow smoker yet. We're mainly eggers here. We do have a drum smoker, which we really love, called a Gateway Lake Drum Smoker. It's great for hot, fast barbecue. And we have the Cook Shack pellet cookers. I think that's what you're alluding to, because it kind of looks like it's got an offset cabinet. That's actually like the pellet hopper. We love those things. They're turn it on and let it go. And so that would be Cook Shack pellet smoker.
Ryan says thank you, and that Nora was very happy to have her question answered.
All right. Crank on, Nora. You're going to be a star, my lady. All right.
And then Pete wants to know if you're thinking about something South American for the ish series. South African.
South African. Oh, like biltong kind of thing? Like with roasted coriander? We might have something on the horizon. We actually, we have a customer, Aya Yoba. You might want to check out their product. It's a South African jerky, which is called biltong. And they have another one, Rodrigo. What's that?
Wars, but they're all biltong.
Okay.
There are different flavors of biltong. Ayobayo, and we've been making seasonings for them.
Yes. All right. So South African, I need to do a little research there. I have to say I am a little bit ignorant. I know somebody, though. I can reach out to Linky. I know you're not watching, Linky. You're on a boat out there in the Bahamas or something. But I'm going to have to reach out to you and start learning a little bit about South African cooking, because I don't really know much about it. We don't have any South African restaurants around here, right? I don't think. Anyway, maybe you could contact us and describe what your favorite South African dishes are, so I can start doing some research, because that sounds like fun. Anything else coming in? I think that's pretty much it from here. Did I get everything? I did get everything. So next week we're going to be talking about our rub of the month, which is spicy dizzy dust. Even though you won't be able to get it to the 11th, we're going to torture you and talk about it next time here on Dizzy Thursday Live. So I guess I'll finish up with, sharing is always good. So if you know somebody who might like benefit from me sitting here yapping at you guys, go ahead and share it with them. And hopefully they'll pop on here next week. So it's not necessarily about watching your thermometer and your watch. It's more about paying attention to how the food is cooking. So I want to be saying that at the end of every class, and that if you ain't looking, you ain't cooking. See y'all next week.